All right, let's move on. The next thing we're gonna do is a subtractive EQ. Always do subtractive EQ before you compress. I'm using FabFilter Pro Q3.
To the place with
So we're going to do some subtractive EQ. Let's cut out some of these low ends. If you look at the spectrum, we can already see there's nothing really down here in these low ends.
To the place with
but anything that does pump through, we want to cut out. So I'm just going to bring this up until it's affecting the vocals and then bring it back a little bit because we actually don't want to necessarily tame the vocals sound-wise yet. We can always come back to this later if we want to and do that, but we don't do that yet.
To the place with the animals. To the place with to the place with to the place with to the place where the animals go. To the place where the animals go.
So just so we don't affect the lows too much, I'm going to keep it down around 80. Cut off some of these highs.
To the place where the to the place where the animal to the place where the to the place where the animal to the place where the animals go. To the place where the animals go. To the place where the animals go.
I did it with the hi-hats in a previous tutorial and I'm doing it with the vocals. I roll off the highs and a lot of people want those in because they think it's going to make it brighter, and it will make it brighter. It's just you can do that later. If they're in there now, there's going to be so many frequencies you don't need that are never going to be cut out, and you're going to be boosting them later as well, especially through the compressors. So we don't need them now, and it's actually, we're not doing anything that we can hear, so it really doesn't matter. And when you smooth it up, it's just going to make those S's and everything even a little smoother. And then next thing we're going to do is we're going to cut out some of the body. So the body of a vocalist is always going to resonate around 500, and that's going to be the roomy sound that is going to make it sound less dry, make it sound like you're singing in a room. And that's just kind of like how dynamic mics work. Kind of depends on how close and far away you are from the mic. And if you kind of cut those frequencies out, or at least dip them down, it makes the singer just sound closer to you and more natural, at least to the human ear. So that's normally around 500. What I like to do is make a bell and then solo it and listen to kind of what I would think would be that sound. And until you hear it, until you kind of get used to what the room of a vocalist sounds like, or the roominess in a voice sounds like, it's not really noticeable. But you can always just, like a steep-ish cut, like around like -10, and start at 1,000 and pull it down. And when you start to get to the 650 range to 450, that area, you'll notice the vocals get cleaner. And when you hear what I mean by clean, you'll be like, oh, now I hear it. And that's the boxiness coming out. So let's just do that. We'll start at 1,000 and listen.
To the place where the animal, 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 to the place where the, to the place where the animal, to the place where the animal, to the place where the animal, to the place where the animals.
So around 580.
To the place where the animals, to the place where the animals.
Hear it with the room. So this is with it.
To the place where the animals go.
Without it. I mean that was without it. This is with it.
To the place where the animals go.
You see how just the lows and everything kind of just fit in a little more, kind of sound more like someone's actually talking to you in front of you instead of someone talking in a room. You're kind of getting rid of that room. But we don't need to take off that much. So I'm gonna put it back to 0, and then let's bring it down. Let's bring it down until we're satisfied.
To the place where the animal. To the place where the animal. To the place where the animal. To the place where the animals. To the place where the animal. To the place where the animals go.
Okay, that sounds a lot better. And then I'm going to, there's like a one frequency.
To the place where the animal.
That kind of has on the S, or it's like whistling through his teeth. And it's very normal for singers to have these frequencies up here, especially like in the 3,400 to like the 6,000, 5,500 hertz range, somewhere around there. It's good to try to find some frequencies that hurt your ears, even if you can't hear them now, and pull them out because we're about to go through some compression and boost everything. So make a bell, make it pretty sharp, and I'm just gonna sweep through and listen, see if anything hurts.
To the place where the, to the place where the animal, to the place where the, to the place where the, to the place where the animals go.
I'm just gonna loop this so I can keep listening to it.
To the place where the animals go. 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 To the place where the animals animals go. To the place where the 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 animals.
So I heard something around 4,900, nothing too crazy. And so I'm not going to do the biggest dip, but it just sounded a little harsh at the 4,900 area. And so I'm going to do about a -3 cutoff. Actually, let's start with -6 and see if we can do that.
To the place where the animal. To the place where the. 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 To the place where the animal. To the place where the animals. To the place where the animal. To the place where the animal.
That's going to be where we're going to start for subtractive EQ. And so before I get too complicated, we're just going to close that and go to the compressors.